Hello, everyone. Greetings, greetings. Hey, Gravitas, welcome. Oh, I know the wave of awareness is sweeping through the continent. Absolutely. Cannot wait to see where it touches next. Me too, Gravitas. Me too. We'll join, sure. We'll go wait for you. We day here now. Hey, good to have you. Wow, now show up early. Mona novice. You don't cast, Abby. Hey, my sister. Hey, Miss B, greetings. Welcome, ma. Thank you so much for being here. Highly favored. Greetings. Happy Wednesday to you. Good to see everyone. How's everybody doing? My people, my people. Now, know it they play now. I sure say most of us already they up to date with anything they happen. While we are keeping up to date with what's happening, let's not forget keep our eyes on the judiciary. I don't know. I no know wetin African leaders dey wait for. I no know wetin Agbado dey wait for. If na me be Agbado, if I dey around am, I go advise am make e just calm down now. There's no need, no long talk. Just calm down and leave this thing alone. Since this man enter, one bad na coup na im just dey happen. The wind wey dey blow, bad wind. But anyway, I'm happy for the Gabonese people o. Hey, whatever, if the people are happy, I care more about the people. If they are happy, who am I to take their joy away? Congratulations to them. I don't understand. 50 something year, papa rule, give am to pikin. Hey God. Hey, only in Africa. um Meanwhile, Paul Biya dey Switzerland. Dey rule Cameroon from Switzerland. E tok say the air for Cameroon no good for am, so he's living permanently in Switzerland. Now my question is, why Switzerland dey complacent in that one? Why? Person wey buy stolen goods no be thief e still be? Anyway, I leave that to you people to answer. Let's get right into it o.
Developments in the Central African nation of Gabon, where a pose of soldiers earlier today seized power and put President Ali Bongo under house arrest, have been nothing short of profound. Videos have also emerged of the dethroned president appealing for outside intervention for him and his family. African affairs analyst Dr. Victor Okhai joins us now to discuss the coup in Gabon and how to tackle the coup epidemic in Africa. Well, thank you so much for joining us on Newsday.
Thank you for having me.
I mean, this is a very interesting development, isn't it? Barely a month after what the coup in Niger, ECOWAS, the African Union, they're still trying to restore democracy. And now we have another coup in Gabon. What would you say is causing this wave of military takeovers?
Well, the spirit of civilian dictatorship. And I think it's important to state that the Bongo family has been in power for 56 years. 56 years. The father would still have been in power if not for his ailment and then his eventual demise and all that. But, and then the son has been there, the current leader has been there since 1999. Okay, and he's intent on continuing, which means he and Obasanjo at almost about the same time, have been in power. And he intends, so you see, there comes a time when even the people would have had enough. Ordinarily, Gabon is one of the the more stable democracies, on the continent. They have a stable and growing economy as well. But when, and I keep using the word, when a dictator insists that, it must always be his way or the highway, this is what you get. The last election just opened up, the election that was just concluded a couple of days ago was the last straw. First of all, foreign observers, which is why I find interesting the fact that he's making an appeal. Foreign observers were not allowed in. Foreign journalists were not allowed in. Internet was, shut down. For what? You understand him say, just so you can have your way over a people and
Exactly.
against their will. And so, and it is things like this that provide, excuse my language again, the ingredients for cooking coups. You know what I mean? So, and he actually cooked, he had bought all the ingredients for a coup, and it was served to him. And that's what happens to civilian dictators and people who insist on having their way over the will of the people.
And the fact that they've been releasing videos of Gabonese citizens running into the streets celebrating as news of the coup broke out, it just piggybacks on what you were saying, you know, this irresponsible government.
Truth is, coup plotters derive their oxygen from the heartbeat of the people.
Yeah.
Did you hear what I said? It depends on the pulse of the people.
Exactly.
You know, coup plotters would usually, and if you notice, when coups don't succeed, we have often said that if you look at the history of Gabon, this is like the third coup. It's been stable for over a period of time. The first one was in 1964, and in that coup, there was an immediate reinstatement because France had an interest. Mba at the time was their president, and then when the coup happened, the French just went in immediately and restored him. 2019, the just deposed president's father was in a vegetative state. He had stroke. He was not even in the country. I don't know if you saw videos at the time of the man moving like, and it was so embarrassing. The French were propping him up, keeping him. That coup did not succeed also because of the French. Excuse my, I mean, we keep coming back to this, but it looks like the one thing that we have common running through this time around is, you know, the imposition of the French over the will of the people. Okay, and that's not democracy. Democracy derives from the people. Democracy does not derive from external forces. And so that's what you find. So this had to succeed, or this, I don't know, it's early days yet, but so far, you can see that the people are clearly very happy about it and they're behind him. And I can assure you that nobody, he's asking people to make noise. He has shut down the noisemakers. He has taken the internet from them. Those who should make noise for him, he has literally shut their mouths. So now there's no voice to speak for him.
But then I'm wondering, you know, what impact this coup would have on France's relations with its former colonies, you know, especially as it seems its influence and interest in Africa are now being undermined, you know, by this wave of military takeovers. If you're talking about the friends, you know, that will come to their rescue, will France be one of them, considering the roles they've played in the past?
Come to whose rescue now?
To the rescue of the deposed president.
Well, whatever happens, like I said, you know, coup plotters will derive their oxygen from the pulse of the people, or from the heart, or the heartbeat of the people. There is no way that, I mean, they would try, because that's what they've been doing over the past, but they're not, I mean, it's not popular right now. France is persona non grata right now. The name is, even if they don't like Russia and Bongo, they will go ahead, I mean, I'm saying Bongo in Gabon, they will go and get Russian flag, whatever that means. I think it's just a metaphor for their newfound freedom, not necessarily a newfound love for any of these other countries, but just a way of saying, look, enough is enough. France will attempt, and there's something I suspect that may happen. They may begin to do preemptive coups now.
So that's what I was going to
Yes,
ask you next.
France might do preemptive coups now in some of its territories, and where our eyes are on some of them, and then they will now put their own, you know, preemptively put their own puppets there as if it was a coup. And I think the people should be very, very smart and alert, because these people are desperate. We are taking the oxygen out of, I keep using that word a lot today, but in another light now, we're taking the very oxygen out of France, and they desperately need to breathe. Africa has been their lifeline, and it's not going to be easy for them to let go. It's going to be a hard fight, a long drawn fight, but so far the people seem to be winning.
And what should the leaders of West African nations be keeping at the back of their mind right now? Just like you said, there could be a preemptive situation where some of these former colonial powers decided they want to place someone that is easier to deal with. What should they be looking out for in order to avoid this contagion? Because in a very sad way, a lot of people around news, I mean, a lot of people everywhere are asking the question, where is next? Because it seems that it's not stopping. It's a contagious situation, and leadership is classically bad around these parts. What do you say?
I'll draw from your last phrase, classically bad in these parts. There is no antidote against good governance. If the people are happy with you, the coup is very, very difficult to, I mean, it's going to be difficult to succeed in a coup situation. So simply, Bongo, like I said, he provided all the ingredients by his very actions and all that. Allow, if it's Western democracy you want, allow it to thrive. Do not impose your will on the people. Do not, bad governance, corruption, and imposition, either by the leaders themselves or by the West, over the will of the people, is a panacea for coups. So the best thing to do is, rule your people well, avoid corruption, and do not let the people draw your oxygen from the people, not from external forces. And that, for me, will ensure that a government remains popular and on the seat among its people.
Okay, so how do you expect the African Union, to react to what just happened in Gabon, and also to strengthen democracy in Africa, considering the fact that what we seem to have now, like you said earlier, is a dictatorship and not really democracy as it should be practiced?
Unfortunately, the teeth have been pulled out of the mouth of African Union. Unfortunately. I mean, by now, the African Union would have weighed in on some of the things that are happening. But they all happen to be a bunch of, excuse my language, people, let me not use the word corrupt, but compromised leaders. A lot of them. Many of them are puppets, and so they take their dictation from somewhere other than Africa. And so because of that, they can't even talk. Right now, what are they going to do? They should have, they don't even have credibility anymore. It's so unfortunate. So this is why the people are, seizing the gauntlet now, taking, deciding to just do things on their own. As you can see, in Niger, the people are with the administration. And I keep saying, and I'll keep repeating it, I do not support military coup. I do not think the army is the best way. But it does appear like that is the only way to reset civilian dictatorship. Because for me, civilian dictatorship is the worst form of government. Not even the military. Because the military will come, they will go. But civilian dictators will have an appearance of a democracy, and they are the worst type of people, So,
Exactly.
so there's a reset right now, but that power is being drawn from the people. In Niger, you can see how the people are supporting them. In I keep calling them Bongo. In Gabon, you can see that the people are also happy to be free. I don't want to begin to mention names, but it's obvious that there are some other African countries where some ancient
Yes, lifelong rulers.
yes, I was going to say ancient and modern leaders. Stay put dictators.
Yeah.
Those civilian dictators. We still have a few of them, and they may have to go very, very soon.
Dr. Okai, speaking of having to go, we have to go. Thank you so much for this conversation. And of course, we continue to monitor the developments.
Thank you.
Nonsense people.
We start this morning with news out of Gabon, as 12 Gabonese soldiers have appeared on television saying that they are in control of the country. They have also announced that they are cancelling the results of the country's recent election and dissolving all the institutions of the republic. It comes hours after Gabon's electoral body announced President Ali Bongo who had been re-elected for a third term in Saturday's general election. He's said to have won with 64% of votes cast. Mr. Bongo's reappointment would have continued the family's 56-year grip on power of the resource-rich but poverty-hit nation. His father, Omar Bongo, was its president from 1967 until his death in 2009.
In the name of the people of Gabon and as guarantors of the institutions, we have decided to defend peace by putting an end to the current regime. To this end, the general elections of August 26, 2023 and the truncated results are cancelled. The borders are closed until further notice. All the institutions of the Republic are dissolved.
Toutes les institutions de la République sont dissoutes.
Well, Kay, another coup in Africa, following shortly after the Niger coup happening in West Africa. Now, this is in Central Africa, Gabon.
Yeah, you've given the stats, a country that is just about 2.34 million, 2,341,000. That's the estimated population as at 2021. A very small country, but one that has some resources that should make it a nation that is thriving. But when you have one family run a nation like it's their family property, it is difficult to not hail the military from coming into power. But like my dear friend and colleague here, Rufai, said, you can't have illegality take over illegality. It's not done. Yes, it is not done. It is absolutely wrong to have coups anywhere on the continent of Africa, and we have to criticize it, we have to rebuke it, we have to chastise it, we have to say it is wrong. It can never be right on under any condition. But there are certain situations that make you begin to wonder whether this is a reason, or maybe it's not, but I think it is a reason to listen to what the likes of George Weah, the president of Liberia, what he is saying. He's saying that Africa must listen to its people. Africa must look at action to be taken against those sit-tight leaders. How can one family choose to be in charge of a nation, run it to the ground, and then step on it and scrub their feet and trash it to nonsense? How can one family do that? One family for almost 60 years. This young Mr. Bongo, who's really not young, 64 years old, who's not now been pushed out of office, wants a third term. He's been there for more than 12 years. He wants a third term to keep him there. 2009 till now, that's about 13 years that he's been in office, and he still wants to remain in office. He's probably grooming his son and his daughter to become the next president and prime minister of the country and become the ministers as well. So it's just, it doesn't make any sense. So two clear things. Number one, coup is wrong. It should never be allowed and encouraged in Africa. But at the same time, African leaders, starting from our own dear nation, the largest black nation on earth, Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, responsibility and weight of being an African leader is on your shoulder. You are the only one that's been invited for a side meeting with President Biden. You have to make it clear that every leader on the continent of Africa that chooses to sit tight and turn a nation into their family business must be kicked out of office, legally or illegally, by every means possible. They have to be kicked out. And you have to look at how we make Africa better. So, Rufai and Ayo, I think I've said my piece.
Rufai.
Ayo, today words fail me. When you take a snapshot of our beautiful continent, the beauty is fading away because of the madness of its leaders. The beauty of Africa is fading away because people that are supposed to be proudly Africa, that are supposed to call on Mama Africa every time to bring peace and succor to its people, are the ones taking the peace away from its people. The beauty of Africa is fading away. And I ask, where is Africa today? All over Africa, we have returned to the era of coups. Between 1957 and 1990, we had over 100 coups in Africa. In the space of a couple of months now, we've had 2 coups. The question is, where is it going to happen next on the African continent?
Like,
What starts the cycle of all these coups? Bad leadership. But like I always say, you can't solve illegality with another illegality. Because the truth is, you just set up a chain reaction. So with this, I would like to condemn that coup this morning in Gabon. I would also condemn Ali Bongo, the seat-tied president of
I
Gabon,
know say na
that inherited the
not
presidency
television.
like it's a family stool from his father, Omar Bongo. Despite the wealth and the oil resource in Gabon, never provided anything for the citizens, but provided all for themselves. Despite his own ill health, we all saw when Ali Bongo had a stroke and he had to move around in a gingerly form, but he still went ahead to sit tight in power. And that's what you see all over Africa. Should I talk about Bouteflika? Should I talk about Emerson Mnangagwa? That now is won another election that are highly disputed in Zimbabwe. Ali Bongo pushed himself on and on. He finally won the election, but the coup plotters said, no, we can't allow this to continue in our country. When are we going to have that Africa that Thomas Isodowe Noel Sankara talks about? When are we going to have that Africa that Thomas Sankara will always say,
But Oga Rufai, my respected brother, Thomas Sankara was a military man. So what's your argument? Your submission today, I understand that Nigeria on a day, there's only so much you can say. You're trying to be, I don't know, diplomatic, whatever. But to hell with diplomacy. Because what we have in Nigeria is not, we don't, in the whole of Africa, there's no demo, it's demon crazy. Demonstration of craze, in the words of Fela. That's what we have. It's high time all you journalists start speaking the truth to power. There's no point. You talk, you buy. You no talk, you buy. One day, one day, everybody will buy. So what's the point? All this talking from both sides of the mouth is tiring. I'm not sure say I go dey show na news anymore because e don dey leave bitter taste for my mouth.
colonialism, abba. Imperialism, abba. Down with imperialism. Down with colonialism. Down with coups. Bad leadership, abba. When are we going to have that Africa? That sweet Africa. That bad leadership, imperialism, colonialism, everything bad will be a thing of the past. Today I cry for Africa, but I hope I don't cry too long.
I'm not cry. I'm happy.
Well, Gabon or Republic, Gabonais in its French, the French word for the country called Gabon, should or ought to be one of the richest countries on the continent of Africa, especially because of its many resources and the small population. So in terms of per capita income, it should be a thriving economy. However, unfortunately, due to bad leadership, has already been explained, and what almost seems like a monarchy, the country has not been able to achieve its full potential. And we saw reactions just yesterday into this morning. We got the reports that the military in Gabon have staged a coup, citing bad leadership and doing it on behalf of the Gabonese people and taking back their country. Already it's been established how many years the President Ali Bongo has been in office, his father inheriting the position from his father, Omar Bongo. And the fact that even though in many countries on the continent of Africa, we talk about the fact that we practice democracy, but democracy looks like an imperialism, looks like monarchy system, looks like a family business, doesn't look anything like what democracy should look like. And in a flawed democracy, you will find instances like this. This will make the 8th coup in recent times on the continent of Africa, a number of them situated in West Africa. Now here in Central Africa, Gabon has, if it's successful, will be the 8th. Now, a few things to note. The elections which produced or reproduced Ali Bongo as president on Sunday when he was announced as president, having said to have won 60% of the vote, was said to have been flawed and wrought with irregularities. One, They said some foreign broadcast stations were not allowed to participate. 2, some foreign observers as well were prevented from accessing. They actually cut off internet source and power at some point during the elections. They also said nationwide there were people who had protested, yet the government the government didn't listen to the agitations of the people and presented a winner following that grossly flawed elections. Following that, we have seen the result. Again, as has been established, there is no justification for an unconstitutional response to a democracy, which a coup is. However, as has been established as well, especially during the Nigerian coup, if we don't deal with the civilian coup, then we should prepare ourselves for a military coup. And what do I mean by civilian coups? Where governments or individuals decide to make leadership or governing over the people a personal ambition and make it that of a family business. When the rule of law is disregarded and disobeyed flagrantly, when the leaders want a lifetime presidency for themselves with illegal pushing of their terms in office, these are civilian coups. And so if we must condemn military coups, we also must condemn the root, which are civilian coups across countries in Africa. I'm hoping that ECOWAS and the AU will respond to this and that we can contain this matter very soon. Move on to our next story. Yesterday evening, at the British Deputy High Commissioner's residence in Ikoyi, Lagos, a welcome reception was held for the new Deputy High Commissioner in Lagos, Johnny Baxter. Rise News morning show producer Ozzy Okoli was at the event.
Following the announcement of Johnny Baxter as the new British Deputy High Commissioner in Lagos, a reception was organized to welcome him at his new residence in Ikoyi.
Are you worried about outliving your savings in retirement? You're not alone. According to Cerulli Associates, 58% of Americans
coming to work. I don't understand. Really important. Look at.
It is a real privilege for me to be here in Nigeria, and particularly to be in Lagos.
He takes over from Ben Cleveland Jones, who recently concluded 3 years as Deputy High Commissioner in Lagos. Baxter is described as an experienced diplomat who has worked in different parts of the world. Prior to becoming the British Deputy High Commissioner in Lagos, he served as His Majesty's Ambassador to the Republic of South Sudan and Deputy Director, Finance and Performance Department at the Foreign.
I'm not interested in this news. I'm sorry, guys. This is BS. They are throwing a party for somebody that does not mean well for them. I don't know. Colonial mentality. That's not the mentality we need to deal with for Nigeria. Go. This is one of it.
Hundreds of people took to the streets of Gabon's capital, Libreville, to celebrate after military officers announced they had seized power. The army officers in the oil-producing country have put President Ali Bongo under house arrest, and this happened just after the Central African state's election body announced that Bongo had won a third term. In an overnight televised announcement, a dozen senior officers declared that the election results were cancelled. They also announced border closures and the dissolution of state institutions. They told the nation they represent all Gabon security and defense forces.
All right, let's get more details now. In the very latest, SABC International News editor Sophie Mukwena joins us live now. Sophie, what's the latest from Gabon? Because when you read reports, you can see that the president says he's in one place, his wife is at another, his son is at another. So what do we know?
Well, what we do know is that the president is at the presidential palace under house arrest, and children are in a different house, and also the wife. We also know that currently the military is meeting to discuss a way forward, because they've pointed out that they don't want to take over power. What they were against was a continuation of a dynasty. You know that the Bongo family have been in power for almost 56 years. And therefore, the country is poor, but the family is very, very rich. And therefore, I think it was a view from the military and some within the country and the opposition that the time has come for a change. But the Electoral Commission in that country had pronounced that Bongo has won. But you know, when coming to these institutions who are charged with responsibility of running the country, it depends who they are and whether they've been appointed as proxies for the government to continue to assist whoever is in power to continue with government. And therefore, it is no surprise that the military and some in the country are now celebrating that they have removed Bongo. But let's take a listen at what Ali Bongo had to say in the dungeon in Libreville.
These are Vessies. They're waterproof. And that makes them rainproof.
Yeah, but it doesn't really rain where I live.
Okay.
I'm Ali Bongo Ondimba, President of Gabon. And I'm to send a message to all the friends that we have all over the world to tell them to make noise, For the people here have arrested me and my family. My son is somewhere, my wife is in another place, and I'm at the residence. Right now, I'm in the residence and nothing is happening. I don't know what's going on. So I'm calling you to make noise, really. I'm thanking you. Thank you.
And there's real noise in the streets. The soldiers are celebrating. Some people in Gabon are also joining in the celebration, while the friends of Ali are aggrieved.
And I wonder how the country is doing then in the face of all of that.
Well, I think the country has been struggling. I remember 18 years ago, I was in Gabon, in Libreville. The then former president of the Republic, Thabo Mbeki, was on a state visit in Gabon. When you leave the airport, it's just poverty. And the issue of dictators, they don't even think in terms of what they are doing. They had lined up people from the airport to the city, almost people from Johannesburg to Pretoria. And then it was hot, and they had to wave and sing and dance until the convoy had passed, different points. And on the other hand, they had the then former president in a car that, slasher or open coupe, that doesn't have a roof. And that wind from Johannesburg to Pretoria, just because Omar Bongo wanted to demonstrate that he's got friends on the continent. And the other issue, after the bilateral meeting, when they were supposed to have a press conference, the media, we converged there. And the two leaders, when they came, President Mbeki and President Bongo, then Omar Bongo the late, he realized that they didn't bring his platform. When you have a podium, and you have a platform, because a leader is short so that he can be elevated. That is why he was wearing high heels, Omar Bongo. And then he realized that the platform is there. He stormed out of the press conference. He didn't even be decent enough to tell his guest, Mbeki, that I'm leaving. And then Mbeki had to later apologize to us because there was no platform, but the whole press conference was called off. In the evening, it was dance and singing, because the daughter is a singer and married to, with in the Congo, Brazzaville family, that. And therefore, you can see the problem of dictatorship. But let's take a listen at what the Secretary General of the United Nations had to say in terms of the current trend that we see, where we are experiencing coups on the continent. Let's take a listen at Antonio Guterres.
Imagine. Only African leaders. Imagine. Pride. The man could not handle.
We need to address the root causes of this situation. And to address the root cause of this situation is to invest in robust African capacity to address its security risks, not to give this kind of pretext to those that, instead of doing their job, are trying to grab power for whatever purposes.
And also, he talks about something very important, Sophie, when it comes to the issue of the root causes. We're seeing more and more presidents who are being held, of course, against their will by military, personnel who then take over the reins, who are expressing unhappiness with what's going on. One wonders, what could be the reason then behind what we are seeing?
I think it's the issue of not delivering on your promises for better life for all. And the nation becomes restless. And therefore, when there's that window of change, they are suffocating and they are now clamoring for this fresh air, the change. But unfortunately, military cannot be a solution. We know what has happened in many countries where there was a military rule. Let's take, for example, in Zimbabwe. You know that in 2017, the military did remove Mugabe from power. Today, the very same Zimbabweans who were celebrating then are complaining, and therefore the military cannot be a solution. The solution is to elect leaders, and when those leaders are elected, they must deliver. But unfortunately, it's all about their families, their friends, and they tend to forget the masses or people who voted them in power. And you have a young generation. This young generation really is disgruntled. They are restless because there are no jobs, and they constitute a huge or a chunk of the population on the continent. And therefore, when you organize anything with the help of social media and the internet, it catches fire.
And it's going to be interesting as we continue to look at this developing story and various aspects of it thereof, just to see if the root causes are really being dealt with. And as you say, it's something that really now needs urgent attention and conversation. That is Sophie Mokoena, SABC International News Editor.
African leaders, they know they hear words. They know they hear words. Pride, ego. Imagine only you get all the resources for country where we see people plenty. They're hungry. You know care. You know concern you. No, my dear, God forbid. African leaders. No, I welcome and may that they come. I beg. Next country. I can't wait. Waiting.
De défendre la paix en mettant fin au régime en place.
The Gabonese military just seized power in Gabon in the early hours of today. The military coup effectively ends 53 years' grip on power by the Bongo family. This is coming a few hours after the announcement of the presidential election results. In the results, Ali Bongo, the incumbent president, scored about 65% of the votes, and his main challenger scored about 30%. Remember that the internet was shut down in Gabon during the presidential election. For people to be posting videos about the coup from Gabon, they've restored the internet connection. It's not clear if it's the military that gave the order or the deposed government led by Ali Bongo. The streets of Gabon proves that this is a popular revolution. There are wide celebrations everywhere, like it happened in Niger when the military struck there. This is the 8th military coup in a francophone country since 2020. Eramet, a French mining group, seems to be the first affected by this military coup. They've closed down their operations in Gabon for security reasons. Eramet employs thousands of Gabonese. They know why they shut down their operations, but it doesn't seem like there's breakdown of law and order. As can be seen here, an officer urging people to protect what they have. No need to go around looting or destroying stuff. If people are against the government because of corruption and mismanagement of their resources, they should be happy with the revolution and not behave like the politicians that were deposed by looting and damaging property. Meanwhile, reactions are coming from all quarters. The European Union, in reacting to the military coup in Gabon, said that the coup will increase instability in the region. France said that they are studying the situation. They advised their citizens to limit their movement. Like already said, this is the 8th military coup in a Francophone country since the past 3 years. It's an indictment on France because it shows that they have been tolerating and supporting bad leadership in these countries. It shows that they do not care about the well-being of the people. Rather, they only care about their own interest. Once they are getting what they want from a country, even if the leadership is extremely corrupt, they don't care, as long as their interest is covered. But there's good news. Many Francophone citizens have woken up from their deep slumber. Most of them have already cut ties with France. Now chatting in consults, where France say they will invade or encourage a military Gabon to restore democracy, like they said when it happened in Niger. Anyway, let's see what the military boys have done already. They said they came to defend the peace and terminate the regime of Ali Bongo, who replaced his father, Omar Bongo, as president in 2009. Omar Bongo led the country from 1967 to 2009.
Imagine.
So as you can see, it's become a family affair, one family being in power for more than half a century. That's no longer a democracy, it's monarchy. Ali Bongo, after completing 2 terms of 7 years in office, he recontested for a 3rd term. The presidential election they held on the 26th August 2023 can be best described as a sham. Why waste money conducting elections in the first place when it's not going to be free and fair? The people are not deceived. Ali Bongo only deceived himself. If he truly believes he's popular, he should have allowed a free and fair election to test his popularity.
Irresponsable, imprévisible.
The military also annulled the rigged elections. In giving one of the reasons they struck, they said the irresponsible governance has led to a deterioration of social cohesion, which has the potential to lead the country to chaos. And as usual with all military coups, they closed all borders until further notice. They also shut down all government institutions. This includes the Constitutional Court, which is like the Supreme Court in Nigeria. Their Senate and National Assembly all are dissolved, including all government agencies. They've also announced a curfew. The whereabouts of Ali Bongo are unknown at the moment. African leaders don't make it easy for themselves and their citizens. Look at Ali Bongo. Despite suffering a stroke in 2018, it would have been reasonable for him to just serve out his remaining term in office and retire. But no, it's only him, and it must be him that must contest and become the president of Gabon. African politicians make military coups inevitable. Are we talking about how he embezzled and wasted money on frivolities? Imagine importing fake snow just to celebrate Christmas. Imagine inviting celebrities like Lionel Messi and paying him millions of dollars just to lay foundation of a stadium and open their family restaurant in Gabon. When 1/3 of their citizens are poor in a country of 2.4 million, 2.4 million is not even up to the population of one state in Nigeria. With all the billions of dollars they earn from crude oil annually, no one should be poor in Gabon.
You see this black box right here? Well, I'm going to show you something right now. Some people are concerned that they might have to go for a long...
Some of these politicians are just heartless. Distribute the wealth equitably. Provide jobs and opportunities for your people. That's the basic job of a government. And if a politician can't do it, give way for another person to try. But they must stay in power perpetually. Whether they are qualified, whether they are fit for the office, whether they know anything about governance, they must force themselves onto the people. Why? Why must it be countries experiencing incompetent leaders and their people are expected to live with it? A small company, a bank, or any other organization will quickly sack an incompetent CEO. Why should a person who makes policies for these companies, who controls the affairs of the entire population of a country, be tolerated when he is incompetent? When it's time for elections and the people want to sack them and express their disappointment at the way things are going in their country, the politicians wouldn't even let them express their displeasure. They rig the elections before people arrive at the polling unit. So how else will people make the change? They can only do it through a military coup. And this one has already succeeded. It has become a revolution. Very soon, the people who champion democracy will start talking, will start saying, return to civil rule, return to this, return to that. But they will never exercise the same energy in criticizing the government in power when they were embezzling the funds of the citizens, when they were wasting their resources. They never gave advice. They never said, no, your country should look like Dubai. You have a small country, a very small population. You can even afford to pay them social security. But no, everything has to be about one person. It has to be about one family. What about others? The inequality creates a chaotic atmosphere. People won't be happy seeing the rich working amongst the poor. When there is no equal opportunity, when there is serious inequality in the society, it breeds crime and break of law and order, which will ultimately lead to a revolution. The military are not trained to govern. That's why after the revolution, they will just have to set the country back to factory reset. Make sure that all institutions of government work as they should do. All head of government agencies must swear an oath of allegiance to the constitution of the country, not to be allegiance to another person or president or whoever has power above him. That is where all the corruption starts. Politicians always feel that they are above the law, that the law is meant for the poor people. They expect the poor to be patriotic while they themselves can do whatever they like without being patriotic. Here, it seems Ali Bongo is using foreign security for his protection. If he doesn't believe in his own countrymen to protect him, then there's a problem. A politician will tell the citizens to buy locally made goods to grow the economy, but they themselves, they will be spending money on foreign-made luxury goods and growing the economy of foreign countries. The worst part is the audacity.
Look at this man, my people. Rain, they beat people. This man, they hell God, oh, the audacity of these people. I beg, which country next? This is crazy. And somebody will not come and be saying, in my own lifetime, I've experienced military coups. But guess what? They are the only ones that have done any sort of development in Nigeria. They are all the civilians we have had, the so-called demonstration of grace that we have had. Name one thing, if you know, in the comment section, name one thing that your civilian demonstration of grace people have done since they started practicing this madness that they call democracy. Please, name one. Under military rule, they did a few things that you can point to. My own is about the people. If the people are happy, that's all I care about. This democracy is not for Africans. It's not becoming clear and obvious. If not, somebody like Baba Blue that is sitting there, is he not seeing all of this to say, you know what, since I'm talking about rule of, let me step down. Let me cover my shame now and step down and just hand it to this man quietly. We go even praise him, say he do the right thing. All the sins when don't do, we go forgive him. Trust Nigerians. But no, they want to hold on to it. Look at this madness here. Please go ahead.
City in rigging elections.
Sorry, Jerry, go ahead.
Auntie Omoye, it was this video that got me interested to know what man. And I saw this video before this coup happened. Because I saw adults and I saw one person under the umbrella. And I thought, okay, maybe he pardoned them for something. And they were so grateful. They were willing to stand under the rain to say good, thank you for what he did for us. Until I heard that they were in his cabinet. And I thought, these are fathers, these are mothers, these are husbands, these are people's children. So what makes you think you are more important for you to be under the umbrella and they should be under the rain? And I thought to myself, Shaggy, not be juju then take to the people. I be now how much then they pay you when you won't go stand under rain? They hear one person waiting, they tell on her, no be goodbye, I will see you soon. Abi, is he relocating to the country that he's going to? I could not get it out of my head. I kept on thinking about it. I had to show my husband and I said, are you sure this is something that happened recently? Are you sure this is an African country? I could not get it out of me. I mean, I have seen rascality. I have heard rascality. I have never seen that kind of rascality. Because he clearly just told them, you people are less than nonsense. And I can step on you and do whatever I want. Therefore, I am leaving now, stand under the rain and see me off. What? Man, that the man, I don't even know why they are keeping him alive. I'm sorry, I'm not a violent person. But
no,
if
you are
he's
right.
such
There's nothing to be sorry about. This
a person, in fact, one death.
Sorry.
No,
nice
that kind person, one die, reach. They're supposed to come, die, make you die 10 times over so that you go really feel the pain. Because you heard what that woman said. The woman said, immediately you leave the airport, you see the poverty.
Exactly.
Imagine, immediately you leave the airport. That is like for Nigeria. As soon as you just come out for that Ikeja, you enter that road, you come out for the airport, you go just see poverty. That is what she was saying. And the man, he go carry snow. I can't see the wife in Oyibo. I look the children are black. I said they import them. Whoa.
My sister, make we play this video.
I beg, let's continue, Jare.
After all they do in office, they fail to uplift the economy, they fail to uplift the country in any single metric of human development. When it's time for election and people are about to go and sack them and express their displeasure with how things are going, they still rig that election to perpetuate their stay in power. This is the problem. You can't do the job. You can't allow another person to do the job. You're there. You don't want to leave. You don't want to give way. There's strife everywhere. There's hunger. There is chaos. It makes a military coup inevitable. It's a cause and effect. The problem lies with the politicians. If they deliver good governance and dividends of democracy to the people they govern, there won't be strife in their country. There won't be much opposition because they are doing the job. Naturally, there must be opposition, but they don't need to shut down their voice. They don't need to suppress them like they do in most of these countries. In a democracy, everyone has the right of free speech. You have the right to criticize the government, to put them in shape. A responsible government must learn from opposition because when you are criticized, you learn your faults, you correct them. It's a wonder that a third of 2.4 million Gabonese are still poor, despite all the huge oil revenue and other resources. This is unacceptable. There's no acceptable reason for that many poor people in Gabon. Now, the military have come to do what the politicians failed to do in Gabon. Who knows where the military will be forced to intervene again in Africa to sort the mess of the politicians, because people just criticize military coups without addressing the cause. It is the politicians that invite the military unknowingly, because when you fail to deliver good governance and allow free and fair elections, everything is about you, your family. You see the country as your personal estate. Why won't the military intervene? It's natural. So we'll keep you updated on future happenings in Gabon and other parts of Africa. Thanks for watching.
And I'm to send a message to all the friends that we have all over the world to tell them to make noise, For the people here have arrested me and my family. My son is somewhere, my wife is in another place, and I'm at the residence. Right now, I'm in the residence and nothing happening. Nothing is happening. I don't know what's going on. So I'm calling you to make noise, really. I'm thanking you.
Can you imagine? Imagine, my people, he's begging to make noise. Which noise? Which noise? Oriwo? Hey, God. Look at what these people have turned Greed. I never see this kind of greed for my life. Oh. I never see this kind of greed for my life. Oh. Hey, God, I beg, oh, things are happening. Things are really, really happening. What the heck? Hmm? Ha! Now, wow.
And you see, Auntie Omoye, it's so easy to steal if you're in government. It's so easy to steal and get away with it. All you have to do is to give the people what they want. Nobody will bother you. Nobody will bother you. They want road, give them good road. They want light, give them light. They want water. Now for this country, where we think say they know they thief money here. They thief well.
Of course.
They thief. But you see, because most people get what they want, nobody's really looking at them. And now when the thing don't come plenty, that's go come talk. But outside that, men, they do what they do nicely and get away with it. I mean, I remember this guy, Ted Cruz or whatever his name was, when he traveled, when everybody and his family went with him, when everybody was dying of they died for the COVID, in can't carry his family go Mexico. They called him out because that was outrageous. Our African leader, they are just wicked people. That is all I can say. They don't have one iota of love for their people. That's all.
It's so terrible. It's appalling to even see. Sometimes I dey wonder what kind of greed is this, for crying out loud, that you are so blind to the sufferings of your people. Ọlọ́run má jẹ́ o.
Look at all the millions, if not billions, found by security agents when they searched the former president Ali Bongo's son's apartment. What is he doing with all these billions? What is he doing with all these billions in raw cash? The military authorities who took over power, led by this general, have decided to charge him for treason, money laundering, narcotics trafficking, and even forgery of the president's signature. Who knows? Maybe he forged signature of his father and went and withdrew money from their central bank. Who knows? But what is he doing with all this cash when a third of Gabonese are poor? They don't know where their next meal will come from. It's very unfair for the son of the president to be living this kind of lifestyle. He doesn't even know what to do with the money. Just awash with money. It's obvious they are laundering this money to Paris. According to an investigation by a judge, they have traced many properties to the Ali Bongo family. So what it means is that they steal money from Gabon and launder it to Europe, especially Paris, and buy up properties that helps in developing the European country, while the place the money comes from continues to suffer. So what it means is that even the leadership don't even believe in their own country. They prefer to invest money in properties in Europe, in France, than to invest in their own country. Also, some of these monies are kickbacks from oil companies operating in their country. Of course, they are French companies, Total and Elf. So this is the problem. When leaders work for other countries instead of working for their own, they become a security risk to their own country. They will never allow their own country to develop, because if it develops, the people will become aware they can no longer steal money the way they steal. So it's just a cycle. After more than 50 years in power, there's no single development that Gabonese can be proud of. Instead, the leadership is busy developing another man's country. And France, of course, investment is coming to their country. They won't say anything. They won't criticize them. We'll bring you more updates immediately we get them. Thanks for watching.
President,
My goodness. I never see this kind thing before. The level of greed and gluttony when I don't see among these people, it's mind-boggling. I never see this kind thing before. I never see this kind greed. I can't even fathom it. Where people they suffer. See Cameroon biya when e go dey Switzerland, e dey rule 90-year-old fossil. Dey rule from Switzerland. Now as I hear say this coup don happen, e don retire the top military people again. Rwanda don retire top military people again. You understand? I'm like,
When did they retire them?
Eh?
When did they retire the top military people in Rwanda?
It's all over Twitter. Rwanda,
Really?
he just retired all his, including one of the top ones that's very well known amongst them. He retired the people, the generals, the top military people. Even this BR guy from Switzerland. Why? Because he say the son for Cameroon they have. Hey God! Hey,
That
Africa,
Cameroonian
who do
owner,
us
that man is a demon.
Hey,
That man is a demon. Because plus dementia and every other thing that we are not aware of that he has refused to leave power. I mean, at this point in time, any coup that happens, they should behave like General Rawlings. Just comot all of them, because what are they doing? They are reducing the air quality by being around. I don't see what they do. When they the place, they know they're useful. So as they come out, make them carry their uselessness, they go. Make them continue. Because it is so irritating that you will loot your country's wealth and go into another country to make it better. Meanwhile, the people that are supposed to benefit from that country don't even see a pin. They don't see anything. Instead, you enslave them more by making them pay more taxes. It's really, I really don't know what to call African leaders. I don't know if it is lack of intelligence, or if it is low self-esteem, or if it is intimidation by other parts of the world. I really don't know where to place their identity and their foundation of greed. I don't. Because when you say you are greedy, when they say small picking get long throat, you go they wonder, say maybe they need to give up for house, and they can. But this one, it is before you. You can do and undo. Yet you loot, you take to another country, you dump it there, and then come back and look at your fellow human being. Meanwhile, these people they are the same color like you, from the same village like you. I mean, what excuse do you tell them? Well, at this point, whatever anybody wants to do in any African country, go on. So, if you like, wipe them finish, close door. It's okay. I am okay with it. It's terrible. It's just terrible.
I'm like, really, what goes through these people's minds when they are doing this stuff like this? What really goes through their mind? What goes through their mind, for crying out loud? How can you treat your own people so bad? You don't even care about them. You don't care what happens. As soon as they step out of your own airport country, the airport in your country now poverty immediately. And you are driving the best. See those people under rain, Tori Olong. See those people under rain because they stand for president.
Person mama and papa, person mama and papa. Now only money you go pay at the end of the month. So person mama and papa. Now you treat like that. Then see in Peking, see the house. If you put all that money for one house, where you take road, take waka. Where the chair go sit down? Only you want money. Now only one mouth you get to. Now only one yash you go take sit down. Now only 2 legs you go take waka. You they collect all that kind of money. Wait till you won't carry and take you. Even if you say you won't spend all that money, this life go finish. You know go spend and finish. But the greed where they them body no greed and see road at all. It blind them completely.
God I beg. e no suppose be like that. And this man, I sit down since I dey think am, I see wetin dey happen. What is really going on? All these African, they are not even taking a cue. They're not even, they say, you know what, let me behave myself, because I don't want a situation whereby this thing will come and happen to me and all of that, right? No, they no even dey think am. They no dey worry about am. They no dey say, I better sit up and do right by these people, because I don't want a situation. Nothing. They just dey do as they like. How can you be a president of a country, you are ruling from a foreign country? All the money wey suppose dey enter your people pocket, say im citizens dey go wele am for France, dem dey wait for am. You know what happen? Dem go wele am for France. Dey say for im birthday, whether na for Biya birthday or whatever for France, dem go scatter the place. Dem go scatter the place. I'm like, what is going on? And yet you have this same criminal people, right? See that all the other fellow fossils that are sitting down there, they are not even worried that this my people, since they are revolting, let us, let's respect ourselves and start to calm down and leave these positions for these people. No. Instead, your Baba Blue is calling for Canada to come and help you. Baba Blue is calling, no, please, come and help me, come and help me tackle this problem. Kilo dey, they take and do us. Now only us waka come. Now only us waka come. What is going on? Why are we like this? Why be say we dey do each other like this, for crying out loud? Why? E no make any sense at all. Meanwhile, the countries wey dem dey run go meet, when dem dey run go, right? The countries wey dem dey run go, my people, those countries dey take care of their people. Those countries they take care of their people. They are not perfect. We all know what the issues are, but they take care of their people. African leaders don't give a hoot. They don't, and they're in your face. Look at that one, are coming out to cry. Please, make noise, make noise. Look at how frail and weak he looks to the whole world. Look at how weak, powerless he has become in one day. Me, I hear say the man wey take over na im cousin. Please, can somebody confirm that? I hear say na the same cousin. Abeg, mo na confirm o. Mo na confirm.
The man wey take over who?
The man wey take over, the military wey take. Yeah, they say na im cousin. I don't know how true that is. I saw it somewhere. I'm telling you.
I hope it is not from front. I hope it is not from fire to fire. Oh my goodness, I pray not. I pray not. I pray not. Oh my goodness, that would be terrible. That would be terrible. I really hope not. Oh, that would be so sad. So sad. Oh my, yeah. This life, Oga.
It's crazy.
Who no.
I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand wetin dey do these African leaders. I don't understand. And all of them are the same place. Now all of them put head, lie down, put. Now the same place, all of them lie down, put head. The same place. None of them dey advise each other. They no dey call each other say, no, what you do, no, we no go support am. What use is ECOWAS and AU? Look at all the Francophone countries, back-to-back coups, that just dey happen. Meanwhile, Gbado dey shout, I don't, I need help, I need help. You need help, but guess what you are doing? You are taking advantage of the people. You are ensuring that your people are suppressed. You don't care. You do not care. You don't care about your people. You dey cry now, look at you. See your business outside. I don't know where my family is. Are you supposed wetin concern us concern whether you don't know where your family? Why did you not think about that? Why you not think am? Why didn't you think about that before? Why? Why didn't you think about that before? Nítorí Ọlọ́run. Eh? Ah, African leaders dey shame person o. I no go lie. Eh? Honestly, Nigeria, I don't know wetin dem dey wait for. I no know. Eh? It's the headquarters. No, seriously, Imo, it is the headquarters. Na there they carry all the money. Imagine a whole president of a sovereign nation, supposedly, they live for outside the country, they rule from outside the country. Nobody, everybody. Now the West is not talking about that.
What even makes you think that the man might be alive? What makes us think that
they've seen he did a birthday now in France? They celebrated a birthday for him.
Oh, but that is the one that they went to scatter now.
That's the one they went to scatter. So that means he's alive.
Okay, that's true. You're right.
That means he's alive now.
And look at that. You get the country. Oh, it's your country. So that means you can do and undo. But you took the money because you're going to pay for that hall you rented. That hall is going into the pockets of the French people. So it's bad enough that you're giving them money. Now you are doing party. The cake where you won't buy. Now French people go bake that cake. He is so scared for his own life that he does not even trust anything to do anything there because you don't know what will happen to me. You carry your birthday, you go do it for France. No be mental illness with that.
I say the sun for Cameroon they affect am. So you know, hey God, country when you dey rule, you say the sun. So why are you? Wetin come make you still dey rule? The man is even he get dementia. He don't even know where he dey. Cannot figure out where he is per time. Eh? It doesn't make any sense. Sometimes I dey wonder wetin dey go through some of these people heads for crying out loud. What goes through their heads? How can you say you want to rule people just like Agbado now? If to say, I don't know who they close to Agbado. This time they're supposed to give a serious talk, but no, greed and gluttony and criminal nature no go let them see road. So a lot of them are. Did you guys see the video of the is it Alake man or whatever his name is? They were bowing down. All his people, all the local government chairman or councillor, whatever they are, they were all begging him or apologizing. All of them went down flat on their bodies to be. Hey God! Oh!
At this rate, I'm beginning to think our own army is very weak. Because how many army this Gabon gets? And they still
small country, oh, they're not rich also. They're like 2.something million. How many?
Oh,
small country.
Yes, then take down a whole. Waiting they do our people. Waiting they do our people. See our people there. Oh my yeah. No vex so I go talk ambo. But we do not love ourselves. Most sorry. There is no love in Nigerian people. You only love when you know you're going to get something out of it. You only become interested when you know you're going to get something out of it. All these nonsense people that are shouting Labour Party, Labour Party, Labour Party. When they enter, the ones who don't enter, what do they not do? Nobody they hear their voice. Nobody hears anything. Why? Because they believe it is my turn. I beg, leave these people, Jale. We just make noise. Then go calm down. Because in as much as they are in that seat, they also do not want Peter Obi to come in because they will not be able to steal. Because tell me, why can't you say something? There are so many things going wrong. Why have we not heard from them? Why are they not talking? Because you know, if Peter Obi comes in, all that money you will not get it. Are you telling me that all the money they are going to share in the Congress and the House of Reps, that in Senate, that they will not take out of it? Are you telling me that they will not get something out of it? Somebody will not get contract, no matter how well that they are going to continue to eat, as long as it will benefit them and their family, they will not say anything. So there is no love of country. Period. There is no love of country.
There has never been love, because guess what though? The puppets, the Western puppets, succeeded in driving a wedge between the people. That's what happened. That's why there's no love, and it's apparent. The puppets, did you know when during election, you not see wetin happen? Wetin happen? Yoruba against Igbo, right? Isn't that what was happening? If you look like Igbo, some you look good, you look well, they go say you be, even among them, if person are Yoruba, they'll say no, you be Omo Igbo, you look like them. Was that not what was happening? Where did it come from? Was it not from the puppet servants? Of course, it's going to take a lot of work to build that love. They've done a number on Nigerians for a long time. You still see them, even when you go to Twitter, you still see them defending this nonsense. Some of them are saying, we don't support Coup no matter what. In this mess that we are in, give me anything but this. Give me anything plus Coup outside of this. If tomorrow Coup happens for Nigeria, I'll be very happy. I will come here and drink. I do not care what anybody thinks. Tell me what is good with this one. Every day people dey kpai. Every single day. During military coup, how many people you see every day, or just wake up every day, they all dey kpai them, they kpai them. The entire, a few states are surrounded by Boko Haram and insurgents and bandits and the rest of them. Was that happening during the coup when military rulers were there? Please, Mona, answer me, oh. Because me, I didn't hear. The only thing
my sister.
We not get freedom of talk. Even say we not even get freedom, people still put their life on the line to still talk. So what do we they talk? Anything but this gagu when they there, anything but him. See as it enter civilian coup. Who's saying anything about it? Who is saying anything? People are still, the suffering don't even double. The suffering has doubled. Let's be very realistic about this. Third Mainland Bridge, na military rule, na military leader, na he construct Third Mainland Bridge. Otherwise, if no Third Mainland Bridge, they exist prior. So what do we they talk? The level of discipline when we get that time, can you compare it to now? Can you wear anyhow cloth? I remember during military, you could not wear mini skirts. That they flog people for streets that time if you wear mini skirts.
You know, go wear mini skirts. Also, you know they cross road anyhow. If you go use overhead bridge, if they catch you, then go beat you.
They go flog you. Even that time when they come our school, the school when they go there, when they show up, if they see any girl when wear mini skirt, now flog you. They go flog your leg, your bare leg when they show. Are you kidding me? Can you compare that to the mess we have now? Me, I don't consider any of this as it's a political realignment, according to Dr. Arikana. Those are my words. Those are the words that I'm going with. It's a political realignment. Whether we like it or not, there's a revolution going on. And the Francophone countries are carrying first. Where is the giant of Africa? Giant in the mud. Where are they? Where are they? Now to they talk. Where they TikTok, they dance, they shout. Here is the real deal now. Come and show your toughness. They are nowhere to be found. People they come they talk. Me no, I know they talk. Say during Abacha time, we use stove. We say call sawdust. Stay cook. I agree. Okay, because we were sanctioned. We not fit buy many things again. Okay, Now when you sit down, you can start to reflect. You can wonder, say, I wonder if what this man was trying to do. Because say a lot of those military people that time, they're not really, some of them they didn't have that level of education enough for them to be able to think things through and understand what's going on. Some of them just take over. They did not have, like Buhari. How many school Buhari go? Not be primary school he go when he become military person. Now primary school now. It's a revolution that is going on in Africa, and I'm here for it. If Nigeria make them never wake up. Maybe when they start to dey eat sand, na that time they go wake up. Maybe that's when they will wake up. Because I don't understand this. How can one family, 56 years, pikin when they're born, that time they say you are the leader of tomorrow. That pikin now today na 56. You not see anything like leader. You not even bear any hope, no future, nothing. And you have them littered all over. Look at whether na where they call am where or whatever his name is of Liberia. In Peking, they pay national. They play sports for America, not even in your own country. Talk about what level of self-hatred reach like that. Your own pikin when you born, they play for another man country. Make it make sense. There's something fundamentally wrong with these people. These Westerners, they just pick them like that. They just pick them puppets. It's okay, this one we can maneuver and talk to any. See the way when they see the UN envoy when they send now. When they come tell and say it's only you that Biden is inviting, you are special. Sure, he head they swear for in mind. Igbo man don't take am serious. So see the mumu. I say hell. There was a guy that did a TikTok that I loved so much. The guy said, "This is how the West calls Africa. Come, I want you. Hey, yo, boy, come here. I want you to come and meet me. We'll meet at the Starbucks down the street. I get you in assembly when they happen. You'll meet me for Starbucks down the street. Okay? So what you'll do when you reach there, you'll tell them, say, now they try to prevent ECOWAS from sending troops. You understand? So that when we want come in, we'll come in like that. Nothing will happen. They don't know it they happen. Now so they command the puppets when they put for them. They are so removed from the people. They go take them out. They go make them, give them billions money, make them billionaires. Billionaire money when they go keep for their country when interest they grow on. Those monies are never in Africa. They are always outside of the country. Switzerland, America, UK. They are sitting on your money. They're there. How many houses this Gabon man gets? How many houses? How many Bugattis? How many sports? Hey, God. No. No. Something is very wrong. Something is definitely wrong somewhere. Wetin dey happen? Wetin dey do us? Wetin dey do us? See money when they find for person house, raw cash, millions in Ali Bongo's son's apartment. Nítorí Ọlọ́run, in a country where people are starving, waiting. Hey! No, this kind of people not supposed to be among us again. I'm sorry. There's no way you can tweak this one. There's no way you can explain it. Why? Meanwhile, your people are suffering every day. They buy every single day. That region alone. And France, they behind that. Now France plant all the rebels, all the Boko Haramis. Now they sponsor them. They sponsor them from behind because they want resources. Is it clear to the West now without Africa, they go crumble? No, it's so blatant right now. See as France, they run up and down, they drive them all over. That's to show you how horrible these people are. So many people, they dance for streets, for crying out loud. People are dancing in the street because of the way meanwhile, they call Africa poor, very poor. We're always sending aid to them. Meanwhile, now our money is the rock. Now our money now they stand on. When they build their, when they come up with they come up with their finances for the year. Now Africa now be their source. See, everything is in the open right now. Everything is in the open. On top of that one, it's even France. It will say there be people wey get sense, because Africans are very forgiving. It's when they will come down, say okay, we apologize, lie flat for ground for person wey go feed you, you go lie beg, apologize, then you go pay all the money when Haiti pay you, when all the francophone countries, everything wey you do, you go pay them back with interest. You dey there, you want to do agidi, there's nothing that can stop an idea whose time has come. Now we dey see so. That's what we are seeing right now. That's what we are experiencing. Kilo day, wetin person dey look for this life? African leaders, the same thing all over. ECOWAS people, see them fossils, they go sit around round table, they talk, no plan for the people, nothing whatsoever. Within them, they are doing evil to their people. None of them they call each other. They know they call out their nonsense. They know they call out their nonsense, say no, this thing that you're doing, no, we can't allow it. You have to stop it. There has to be rules about this thing. If you're not elected by the people, you shouldn't even bother. All of them, no one when people elect. All AU, ECOWAS, puppets of the European Union. All of them. No. I am so waiting. Next, I'm waiting. Which country? I bet me I wake up tomorrow here another one. Now that one I ain't go sweet my belly pass. All these ones will not fit continue forever. Bibi, you don't come out. Thank you for coming. I appreciate. And people, una know how I be. No, we know what to pay for here.
You must to hear what happened in Zimbabwe. My Zimbabwe. We thought Mugabe was bad, but who knew that the man he was using to do his dirty jobs that time will be the one showing us pepper today. What's up, my people? It's your girl Adiola. Adiola Lake. Move closer, move yarn something. You know, we are making progress in some African countries when it comes to election, and we are always celebrating that. But election in some African countries is still being treated like a joke, even in Nigeria. But we're supposed to be the giants of Africa. But the truth is, a lot of Africans, from Cameroon to Gabon to Togo to Zimbabwe, a lot of Africans are feeling as if the person they did not vote for is being imposed on them. Amen. Somebody's status. Why we have to talk about it? Once again, my people, 80-year-old Emmerson Mnangagwa, aka the crocodile, has been declared the winner of the Zimbabwean election of 2023. The trouble is, so many Zimbabweans are saying that the electoral process was filled with intimidation and fraud. And you cannot blame them, because the whole thing was a mess. Voting was delayed at opposition strongholds. Can you imagine? Some polling stations reportedly turned voters away. They told them to go home. They told them to go home. Some of them closed early. Ballot papers were still being printed. The evening of election day, I said, the devil is like, how? Like, serious? And then they arrested 41 election monitors the day after the election.
Can you imagine?
And they seized all the electoral materials they had with them. And you know, it didn't even start on election day, months, even years to the election. You know, there were reports of arrest and violence by the ruling party, that is the ZANU-PF, against the opposition. In fact, Zimbabwe's Supreme Court barred a candidate from running. That is Savo Kasukuwere. They didn't allow him to run at all. The government of Zimbabwe banned some opposition rallies. The Electoral Commission deported 4 election observers from the Good Governance Africa. That was before the election day. And they refused accreditation to local election observers, as well as the Southern Africa Human Rights Defenders Network. Can you imagine? By the way, they also prohibited some international journalists from covering the election. I was like, how convenient for them to rig the election. Meanwhile, you will not believe this. The president told the people that they should vote for him so that they can go to heaven.
bring God into their atrocities. Yes, and their dictatorship. Somehow they will plug in God right there because they know that Africans, we love anything that has to do with God like that. We don't. So, how many of you, my Zimbabwean people, voted for this man so that you could make heaven? Let us know in the comment section so we can pray for you. I keep asking, why are some African leaders wicked towards their own people? This is not other people. These are their own people. I mean, first of all, this man is 80. He'll be 81 next month, September 15th. What else does he want in life? Although he looks better than our own president in Nigeria, you know, who says that he's 71. In case you're watching, we're just saying that the man looks good. But you know, age is not even the issue. If he's aged and he's doing well, I won't say anything. But this man has not done well since he came in power in 2017 via a coup. That was when they kicked out Mugabe. Inflation last month was 101%. Also, reports from Zimbabwe is telling us that only 25% of the people have formal jobs. This is the third president that Zimbabwe has had since independence, by the way, because Mugabe refused to leave and now this man doesn't want to leave. And the same party, ZANU-PF, has been in power for the past 43 years. And like Mugabe, this president, known as the crocodile, has continued to milk the country dry. Don't forget to watch the gold mafia of Zimbabwe on YouTube. You guys will see how the president, his niece, his family members, let me just say, not just his niece, prominent pastors in Zimbabwe and ambassadors are all stealing gold out of the country like no man's business, and they even boast about it publicly. You know, Mugabe recruited this man a long time ago to do his dirty jobs, and that is why they call him the crocodile. For those wondering, why do we keep calling him the crocodile? Yes, he's been involved in politics since the 60s, directly or indirectly, because he started when he was barely 20. That was when Mugabe met him. That was 60 years ago. They fought for independence together, by the way. And he was one of Mugabe's closest lieutenants. You know, he was a member of the parliament, and he has held so many political offices. He was a member of parliament, speaker of parliament, minister of security, minister of housing, minister of defense. He was even vice president before Mugabe fired him when he realized that, okay, this man is trying to kick me out and take my position as president. But as you guys know, in 2017, the crocodile snapped back at his own master. He overthrew his master, that was Mugabe, in a coup. When he realized that Grace Mugabe, that was Mugabe's wife, aka Gucci Grace. How is Grace, by the way, my Zimbabwean people? We will talk about that another time. But the man wanted to make sure that Grace Mugabe doesn't become president because it became obvious that Grace was preparing herself to be the next president after her husband Mugabe. Now, even though when he came in 2017, he promised democracy. For some reason, since he took over power, first of all, I don't know, but all the army generals that helped him overthrow Mugabe, they just started dying one by one. Like, seriously, people were like, what's happening here? Within a matter of weeks, in fact, there was a time, I think 3 of them reportedly died within 2 weeks. But again, maybe it's a natural cause, you know, maybe it's old age, I don't know. Although some of them were born in the 60s. But I'm not surprised that he's clinging on to power. He came in 2017, they had an election in 2018. Instead of ensuring democracy like he promised, handing over power to civilians, he did not. He declared himself winner at that time. Now he's been declared winner again for second term. But I'm not surprised, and I don't think anybody should be surprised because this man has said that he will be in power even in 2030. And it looks like he means it, you know. My Zimbabwean people, let us hear from you about this election. I mean, even ZANU-PF supporters, let's hear from you. I mean, the man has a lot of supporters, by the way, not just among regular people, but among popular pastors. You know, we've talked about some of them on this show, all the way to celebrities. Even Mayweather campaigned for him. The rest of us, we couldn't help but wonder why people support people that are known to be dictators. I mean, I'm sure you have your reason. Maybe let us know because maybe we are the ones that are wrong. Because the people that are supporting them, they're the ones making it easy for them to rig elections. I mean, if they couldn't get 25% of votes, it would be hard for them to rig themselves to say that they got 52% like he said. So a lot of people must have supported him for it to be easy for him to rig the election. So rigging works when African politicians are able to get even small support. If they get zero support, if people reject them completely, it becomes very hard for them to rig election. They will be scared of the people. Zimbabweans at home and abroad, do you think this election was free and fair? And if you don't think it was free and fair, why or why not? Real quick. So this weekend, an African king who is making a difference is celebrating his 66th birthday party. We've talked
about him before on the show. Check out that video. You will be inspired. Please come out this Friday, September 1st. Happy Sidera, Ladi the African Tiger. He used to wrestle. That is Oba James Oladipo Arokola Bremer. Is celebrating his 66th birthday with a fundraising to build a computer center in his community, that is Idera. They are also awarding chieftaincy titles that day. So please come on out, meet the king while having a great time whining and dining. Nigerian food. Event starts at 4 p.m. Please come on out and meet our very own Onidera of Idera, that is the African Tiger. Once again, let me know what you guys think about the Zimbabwe.
My people. Oh, next. Now the country, I bet tomorrow, please, tomorrow, let tomorrow be a great day. Oh, it go sweet my belly. As we usher in September, this September bring in more. No. No. Imo, I agree with you. Now see finish. I'm telling you, they see us pata because of the puppets. Not be we per se, not the puppets. Imagine somebody like Peter Obi for president right now. You think all this nonsense when we dey see up and down, we go dey see am. You know, Kenny, I saw your comment. You said that we're so close to getting it right. Not be if judiciary do the right thing. Now, if judiciary not God gets coin for head, go do the wrong thing now. Now, if judiciary do the right thing, no, because as e be so, these people, you know, see and they parade themselves among the whether na president of NBA. He dey parade himself around, and that one dey follow am like mumu. He don collect money. I no want any surprises, abeg. All of them, all west, all the NATO people, US o, UK o, Canada, all of them, Australia, all of them, not one, no exception, all of them dey take advantage of us all because of the mumu puppets wey dey there. Mumu, abeg, I'm telling you. Miniskirts, that time you dare not wear miniskirts, so they flog. Hey, man, they go flog nonsense comot for your body. I'm telling you, no, I respect them. Francophone countries, matter of fact, I'm very proud of them. That's the way it is done. I'm really proud of them. Super proud of them. That's how it should be done. You let people know, it's too much. We're done with this. You know? George Weah, when pikin dey play for US nko, make himself go sit down. Of course, if person talk true, I go talk say yes, he talk true. Na true he talk, but make himself check himself. May he enter house, may he look himself too. Okay. But with France, through the oil, no sharing formula with France. So everything lesser, I'm telling you, their central bank na France. Their everything na France. Even their bananas for Gabon, you know, say na France. They import am from France where they get fertile soil. Hey, my goodness. France wicked though. My God. None of them good, but France, the evil when they get, not be real. They need to suffer. They need to suffer seriously. %6. God. Oh my God, what an insult. Of course now, likes. They be like people now, they're gonna flock together. Grace Gucci Mugabe was an arrogant lady, greedy of money and power. When she starts eyeing for the highest position in life, her fall began. Ew! Not be so, Remi Tinubu, how is she different from that one? How is she different? Me, I don't understand. All these people, at least if husband bad, woman supposed to say, no, you are not bringing this shame to me and the family. But now women, when they marry, let's say they even they egg them on, they put they say, yeah, Oga, carry go, I do your back, I go really pray for you, I go turn pastor for you, sef. turn to a man looking for dey see the money thief. I never see this kind thing before. Yeah, always takes. They don't pillage Africa, pillage. They don't dey leave anything. Everything when they work for France, now Africa I come from. Every single thing. I wish their citizens go even dey talk for this matter, because now then it go affect last. I wish their citizens will come out and be talking too, because now then it go affect French citizens for France. Una know wetin una government don dey do with Africa since? That's the question. I guarantee you they don't teach that history in their school. Exactly. Stop visiting France. Guy and Walele, if you dey France, not visit. Una no dey. In fact, that na one way. Nobody should visit France again. Nobody supposed to go France, go visit. If you're an African, apart from those that are there, maybe for one thing or the other, not visit France. Make the economy crumble. Pata. I make France crumble. Make them crumble. Now that one I want. For wetin they don't do Africa. Yeah, he don't give his son now to play for America as well. Yep, he don't give his son. French people are very racist, man. Say no to croissant, right? Thank you. That's fantastic idea. Everybody, all the croissant lovers. Anything French, stay away from it. The Ivorian people should be next and teach that their president a lesson. And France will be, yeah, all of them. Ivory Coast, Senegal, Gambia, right? Gambia, yeah. Equatorial Guinea, all those places. Make they just give them, make they give them woto back to back. No, my people, the sickening what these people have turned Africa into. It just be like their dumping ground. Anything where they like, they just go. Anytime where they feel like they just go there. Abeg me, I want to wake up to some more good news, to be honest with you. I really do. I want to wake up to some fantastic news. Say another one don shele. Oh my God, I'll be so happy. I'll be very, very happy, honestly. Yeah, absolutely. Mm. It's crazy. My people, now here I go draw the curtain. Make I leave una for here. We've been brought up to date. Let's keep our eyes to the ground. But don't forget, all eyes on the judiciary. We are still looking at the judiciary. And we have also added eyes to Chicago State University. Chicago State, may they save themselves, save their image. My goodness. One man cannot just bring an institution down, for crying out loud. There are people who went to that school and studied hard and got their degrees. Chicago State, Biko, release everything to us. That's what we are asking. Nigerians don't go shut down their Facebook page, shut down their LinkedIn. They ask, oh my God. Nigerians, if they mean you, Nigerians say make they price how much to study medicine in your university, how much to study engineering. Since you are where we can buy it, please tell us. They shut down their page, they lock their Twitter account, lock their Facebook account because of Nigerians come dey find their email, they don bombard their email address with messages. Abeg, make they just, you know wetin dem go do, make they just release the man record. What do they have to gain? What do they have to lose? Release everything. So they have more students in that school. Otherwise, people know they go that school again. Like joke, because Nigerians will not end there. They're going to take it all the way. Nigerians are currently looking for people that graduated in 79, 80. They found some of them and they send them emails. Oh my God. And I say these people don't know wetin they look. They don't know wetin they enter. Nigerians are not playing, They are not playing at all. If na me, I don't know. May they just suffer. Hey, to. Is a Guinean that why he goes to exactly because I kept wondering, Imo, you just raised the point. I kept this man is always going to France. Does he speak French? Now is it not clear? He's definitely from Guinea. Eh? The agreement he made with Macron gave him impetus to make that declaration about. I'm telling you. And you know what I think? I think he thought that it would be easy for him once he becomes president. He can do what they ask him to do with ease, right? So you have to remember, France is behind all of this thing, behind the scenes. Now they cause all the katakata when they go on, all the fighting, everything when they go on, now they sponsor am. So e come say, okay, if my man dey there, because Nigeria na the target, if my man dey there, I go fit easily come in. That was this man's hope. Yeah? The thing crash for their face now. They say Nigeria not be ordinary meat when you just fit chop like that. Nigeria na like e big pass elephant. Where you wan start? The thing don blow up in their faces now. No way for France, nothing for them. Imagine. No wonder dem dey hug each other, dey wonder say wetin be dis all dis love wey dem dey show each other. Abeg anyway, my people, it's been real o. Thank you very much for joining me. I appreciate you guys. We go see again o. We go see as everything dey go, but please o, use your social media platforms well o. Hashtag all eyes on the judiciary, hashtag all eyes on Chicago State University, disqualify Tinubu now, okay? And judiciary give us a date. You don't understand. First of all, they floated September 30th, abi 18th or whatever. When abi 16th, when they come see say people dey react, they come quick change mouth say no, they never put out date. These people, they use dates say they torture us. Whether they like am or not, on or before, they must announce. We will know where we dey. If they lie, make dem put blinders or make dem talk say dem no dey see wetin dey happen. The one wey dey come for dem, dem no go fit handle am. Make dem dey there, make dem dey play. Yeah, exactly. God go bless you, Kene. Yeah, that's true. You're absolutely right about that. You know. Anyway, guys, thank you very much. Oh, I appreciate. We will see again on my next live. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Tato, my darling, thank you so much. Misty, aka Eunice, it was lovely seeing you. BB of Life, thank you for stopping by. Natu, my darling, I know say Natu go don go sleep, but their side e dey late. Neka, my love, oh, Neka, it was good to see you, Neka. Eh? Thank you so much, guys. Gravitas, I know say Gravitas will join us today, but she was one of the first people to be here. Highly favored, Nelly. Who else? Emo, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. Pius, thank you. Mr. Guy Wanele, thank you very much for stopping by. I see say you wan learn how to make Malian food. I no blame you. Me sef, I don dey learn all now. Because I don't know, I might end up moving to Burkina Faso. Not live una for Nigeria because una problem. I don't understand. I go just go where the country dey work. Go Burkina Faso, learn the language, suffer, integrate. Start to dey do business. So then I have food I go dey sell for there. Now so, my people, because I can't shout. Soft life. You know. So Naim. Anyway, guys, it's been nice hanging out with you all. So have a wonderful rest of the evening, and I'll see you guys on my next one. Bye.